Morning, guys. Let's go ahead and look into solving square roots using equations, okay? Remember, the purpose of square roots is to undo exponents of 2, okay? So we are undoing exponents of 2 again, and so the purpose, how we write this mathematically, is that the square root of n is equal to a different number times itself, which is equal to n, okay? So that number can be positive or negative, and we will get into it. All of these numbers are called perfect squares because they come out to integer numbers. So the square root of 1, 1 times 1 is 1, but also negative 1 times negative 1 is also 1. The square root of 4 is 2 times 2, but also negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, and so this is what this plus minus sign means. We are going to go ahead and get started on filling in that bookmark with our perfect squares. I already have the first 4 listed right here. Let me show you how you're going to fill that in your bookmark. Okay, so you have one that's front and back, should look similar to this. We're going to put the square root of 1, sorry, my little tablet's being weird. Square root of 1 is 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. Actually, the square root of 1 is plus minus 1, okay, because positive 1 times positive 1 is positive 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Okay, the square root of 4 is our next one. The square root of 4 is plus minus 2, because 2 times 2 is 4. I need to restart my tablet, sorry. Alright, our next perfect square, integer square, is going to go to that plus minus 3. And then we're going to go to plus minus 4, plus minus 5, plus minus 6. You get the pattern? These are called perfect squares when we do 7 times 7, 8 times 8. And our bookmark will go up to, I believe, 22. So 3 times 3 is 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. Okay. 4 times 4 is 16, because 4 times 4 is 16. At no point have I done division, so please, please, please do not think division, okay? Because 5 times 5 is 25. All right, I'm going to pause my video. I'm going to complete this, and this is going to be your cheat sheet for perfect squares, so you can use this on the test and stuff, so you don't need a calculator. All right. I ran out of space right here because my picture is so tiny. Okay, so this is a check for me to know if you are listening to the video right here. I need you to complete the because part. I didn't complete the because part, but I do think you guys are getting the pattern based off of what's going on here. I want to see your bookmark completed. This is a check for you to be listening to the video. Let's see how many of you are. All right, now let's get into these examples. Finding the square roots of numbers. Okay, finding the square roots of numbers. Remember, that means we're looking for what number times itself is equal to 36. So going back to your cheat sheet, we know that 6 times 6 is 36, but also negative 6 times negative 6 is 36. The answer is plus minus 6. 100. What number times itself is 100? Going back to our cheat sheet, we know that's 10 times 10. Negative 10 times negative 10 is also 100. So the answer is plus minus 10. 121. Going back to our cheat sheet, we know what number times itself is 121. 11 times 11 and negative 11 times negative 11. So plus minus 11. Plus minus 11. Okay, we can also, instead of writing how to find the square root, we can use the symbol that says the same thing, find the square roots, because when it's plus minus, there's 2 of them. This negative sign is outside of the square root, so this one is only going to be negative. What's the square root of 1? 1, and then this negative sign only has one root because it says I have to be negative. Cannot be the positive one. This one, fractions are way easier. We can break this down into the square root of 4 over the square root of 25. This one has 2 because they use the symbol plus minus. Okay? This one has 2 because they use the symbol plus minus. So, the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 5 is 5. So, plus minus 2 over 5. Keep it that way. Last but not least, we're going to go over here to 12.25. We don't have this one in our cheat sheet, so we would just sit here and look at multiplication problems until we get this answer. For example, ours only went up to 22, and when we did 22 times 22, we got 400. This is a much bigger problem, so let me go to 32 times 32. I get 1,024. Okay, a little bit higher, let's do 36. Well, this ends with a 5. Let's do 35 times 35. Let's see what happens. 35 times 35. 1225. So, 35 times 35 is 1225, and the decimal place has to go in the middle to give 2 spaces. 1, 2 spaces. This one has a plus minus the square root of 3.5. Alright, our last set of examples before we get to that on your own part right here is we need to be able to evaluate using square roots. That means, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's what we're doing. Not solving. Solving is for equations. Evaluating is for please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so parentheses, no. Exponents, yes. We're going to include exponents is the square root. So the square root of 25, going to our cheat sheet, is 5. Okay, now we have multiplication, so 12 minus 3 times 5, 15. 12 minus 15 is negative 3. It is super important that you write down line for line, because if you get distracted, you're going to lose track and then you don't know where you left off. So that's why we'll write down line for line what we completed. Alright, parentheses, no. Exponents, yes. We include exponents with the square root. So the square root of 28. What times itself is 28? Let's think here. Is that one a perfect square? Did we determine if that one was a perfect square? Let's see here. We have 6 times 6 is 36. 5 times 5 is 25. So it's in between there. We are going to leave this one because it's not perfect as the square root of 28. And we are going to go ahead and put that into our calculator because it's not perfect. We're going to do this number right here. 28 divided by 7 first. Oh, that might make it perfect. 28 divided by 7. And we tend to neglect that 28 divided by 7 is something that can happen. And now it's pretty. So we can do 28 divided by 7 first, or we can do the square root and then division, whatever's easier. Okay, it doesn't matter. Square root of 4 is 2. And 2 plus 2.4 is 4.4. Okay, again, you can take the square root of the numbers and then divide, or you can divide and then take the square root of it. Just depends on which one is going to be the best answer. Number 9, we have to go through and do these square root first. So 7 minus 10. Now we got to finish off those parentheses. Okay, 5 times 7 minus 10 is negative 3. So the answer is negative 15. The area of a circle is 2,826 square feet. Write and solve an equation to find the radius of the circle. Use 3.14 for pi. Okay, so circle, the area is 2,826 feet squared. The area formula for a circle is all pi's are squared. We're going to plug in what we know. We know that 2,826 is pi r squared. Alright, now we're going to go through and divide by pi. Divide by pi. right? And solve, we have to go through please see sad me. Okay, that's why I did the division of pi. I'm going to leave it in this form right here because it's simpler this way. 2826 divided by pi equals r squared. Take the square root to undo the exponent of 2. Take the square root. All right, let's see if we can take the square root of 2,826 perfectly, and maybe we can take the square root of pi perfectly. Let's see what happens. The square root, I'm putting this into my calculator, the square root of 2826 is an ugly number, so let's not do that. 2826 divided by pi is also an ugly number. The best solution to use for this is therefore when it says approximate it using 3.14, that's exactly what we're going to do. So 2826 divided by 3.14 is 900. Okay, I just did the division with using the approximation of 3.14 and it got a nice number. 900. Now we have to take the square root of 900, and the square root of 900 is 30. The radius is approximately, at this point, approximately, because we approximated pi, 30 feet. All right, here's your on your own problems. Please go ahead and give them a try. Okay, when you're ready to check your answers, press resume and I'll be here. Alrighty, you should have got 13 plus minus 15 plus minus 2.1. This one, you did want to break it up to the numerator, square root, denominator, square root, because those were perfect, and then leave it as a fraction. However, for number 5, because 512 is not perfect, neither is 2, it's not perfect, we'll just go through and do the division, because that's okay too, and then we took the square root of it. So what operations do square root undo is your essential question, and your checkpoint is up and running. I hope you're having a great day, guys.